Right. So now we're opening MagicQ. So here we've got MagicQ. And the file that's suggested to us, it's called BA2. So we go in the MagicQ, we go to the patch window, then we go choose head, and then we press search. And in the whole name, you type, you can if you want double click, you type BA2, enter. So it will bring you the name of the manufacturers, and you can see the manufacturer we're looking at. It's called Tech Show. Okay, this one. The fixture is called Ion 230B beam, and we've selected it. So now what we need is we need to press the button called Edit Head. So when we select Edit Head, you will be able to see in the view channels the very same channel list like you have in your library. I can actually adjust it, make it smaller because I don't need the whole thing. And then here we can just hide sidebar. And if I will adjust it, make it smaller, you will be able to see my channel list. That's exactly what I want to see. So now let's go one by one. So first of all, okay, actually, let's adjust the name. You go to View General. Here's the manufacturer name. Change the name, change the short name, change the mode name. Okay, and put the long name as well. So change this. In the DMX channel list, you says number of channels 14. We leave it as it is. In the parameter, you can leave it open. In the options, if you want to see it as the moving head, and you want to see it as a moving head, this is the first thing you need to fix here. So it says here mirror. That's not going to work for you because this is showing like as a scanner. If you double click this, change to yoke. That way it will work for you and it will show in the visualizer like a beam fixture. So first error we fixed. So the next one is color mixer, because there's no other option as, let's say, color wheel. You leave it as a CMY as it is. Don't need to change anything here. Multi and media, that are not relevant for you here in this case. Now we go to the channel list. So we've got channel list, pan, tilt. They're all set here. It's all correct. So you can see here, if the channel's got pan and it's got pan and pan fine, you need to make sure that you both set them as pan. And then in the size, you need to specify the normal pan is going to be 16-bit high and the other one is going to be 16-bit low. Otherwise, you're going to see exclamation mark showing you that you have an error. Next one that we need to fix, first of all, is going to be the shutter channel. So the shutter channel, as we can see, we can go now to the view ranges. If you go to the view ranges, you will be able to find your channel and the options here. So in our case, we need only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options. We don't actually need all of them here. So what you can do is, for example, at the moment, this option we don't actually need because it says open and we have it called dark. So we can select it and then we press remove and click on it. So this has been removed. I can remove that open as well. Remove, click, and I can remove that open because we don't actually need that one. Okay, so now I've removed, so I've got closed, which is called drag. We can keep it as closed. Then and you can see here the range. So the minimum 0, 0, 0 and 231. You look here, it says to 3. Okay, no problems. We double click, we type 3, enter. So now between 0 and 3, it's going to be shutter closed. Now the next one is from 4 to 127, slow strobe. So we go here. And we select, we can type 4, and here we can type 127. So now this is going to be strobe, slow to fast. Next one, we're going to leave, we can keep it as a strobe fast, strobe mode 2, doesn't matter, you can keep it as pulse if you want. And then you change from 128 to 1921. So we're going to say 191. Next one is going to be slow strobe to fast random strobe. We can say random strobe, that's okay. So it starts when 192 to 251, okay. And here you see exclamation mark saying that there is an error, of course, because we need to start from 252, okay. We go here, 252. And it goes to the 255, which is going to be open. That's it. So we just fixed the shutter channel for you. So that means now when you will save the files, you start working with them, the shutter will open correctly for you. Okay, that's still not all. Then you go and fix the colors the same way. So as you can see here, the color is 0 to 4 is white. You look here, 0 to 2 is white. No, it has to be 0 to 4. So fix this. So you have to fix the color range if you want to see them all in the encoder X when you will be scrolling, indexing through. If you don't really care and if you just want it to work, you can delete the whole thing and just leave it as a one attribute to go from 0 to 255. That means you will not be able to index through them, but you will be able to quickly run through. So again, it all depends how much time you have to make it. So the next one that I told you we need to fix would be, for example, channel number 10, which is called 10 is a prism 1. So if we scroll through down, we can see here channel 9 is a gobo, and there is nothing else for channel 10. So if we go here, we can see gobo, channel 10, it says gobo rotation. In reality, we want it to be prism, okay? So what it means is, what I need to do is, I can change the number channel number 10. So we can see here, so it's a prism rotation 11, 12 is a prism rotation 2. So we need to relabel them. So this is your the name of the channel. So you can type anything here. So for example, here you can call prism, okay, or let's say prism 1, because this is, it says here prism 1. Okay, we fixed that. So next one, what we need to fix is going to be your channel allocation. So here you have to choose the correct attribute. So in my case, it could be so we've got prism. Where is this? So we've got fx1 prism rotation. You've got the different options here. So you have to choose the one that works for you. So for example, if I live here, so we've got fx1 prism, we've got prism rotation. So let's call the correct naming here. So we're going to call prism, sorry, we're going to call prism 1 rotation, okay? And this one has to be called prism 2 rotation. So I'm going to go here and type prism 2 rotation. Okay, so the naming we fixed. Now we just need to make sure we apply the correct attribute, because otherwise they're going to show that there is an error. So this one needs to be prism rotation. Okay, this one needs to be a prism. So that means we can just choose prism, this one. And this one, we need to make sure we are not overlapping. We're going to choose that one. So now the encoders are not going to overlap. So then the next one is, of course, is the location of the encoder. So when you see B, that means it stands for the beam parameter. 2 stands for the page in the beam. So when you press beam, it's going to show you page 2. And then you have attributes, which will be C, E, and D. So C, E, and D. So C and D and E. Okay, these will be the parameters referring to the prism control. So what you need to do now is you have to go to the view range and you have to fix them. So in your case, you can see here, you have a prism rotation, prism rotation 2. So what you need to do is you need to go and include those channels correctly. So let's fix the channel, the channel number 11, which is now prism rotation. So you see you have 4 options. These 4 options here. That means we don't need to have we need only 4 options, and you have them here. So it says prism 0 to 400 degrees between 0 and 1 to 7. You go here and you type 127, and you can name it 400 degrees. Okay, so match it exactly to the thing just to make it easier for you. Next one is going to be 128 to 187. So you go 128 to 187. Next one is going to be, it's called rotate forward. Okay. Next one is going to be 188 to 195. 188, 195. And that's going to be called stop. And the last one is going to be rotate reverse. So we can type in. And I'm going to type in the values here, 196 to 255. That's it. So we fixed that range. And then if you want to insert the range number 10, you go here and you say insert, you just find the area where you want to insert it. And then you press insert. See, it creates the previous name. You double click and you say you actually want to do channel number 10, which is prism. And in the prism, you have to say, for example, none. Yeah. And that will be channel number, this one. Double click and you say none. And then you choose here, you can type none. And then you type in the values between 0 and 63. So between 0 and 63. Okay, then you go to the next one and you press insert, and it's going to create the next channel and next channel, next channel, next channel. This way you fix all your channels and all your ranges. And the last one will be, the important one also will be your reset and also your lamp on, lamp offs. So for the lamp on, lamp off, this is the important part. So when you go to the control channel, number 14, you can see here you have a lot of options. In reality, all you need is just the 3 options. So what I would suggest you to do is just take the extra options that you don't need and remove them. Okay, so now we removed 3 channels and we only left the 3 channels that we need. And that way you will have, no, actually I would suggest you to also put the, sorry, my trackpad is just jumping here around. So I would also suggest insert, select the channel 14, even though it says nothing here for safe place, you need to put the safe place between 0 and 210. So that way you're gonna say none, nothing, and you will say safe, for example, and you will type here between 0 and 209. Okay, next one is going to be 210 to 215. 210, 215. Next one is going to be 220, 235. And the last one will be 240 to 255. Okay, so that way we already created 3 correct areas for our future macroses. So now if you want to go into the macro section where you want to put the lamp on, lamp off, etc., etc., let's say I will add here another range is going to be lamp on, and I'll go here and I'll type lamp on, and I'll put here, for example, between 50 and for example, yeah, okay, no, I'll say it's between 236. Okay, so it's going to go between, so it's going to go in between these 2 things, 236 and 239. So let's say this is the 236, 239. Yeah. So let's say if we want to make sure that we can actually, okay, I can actually move probably this one over here. Okay. So, okay. So we can, you need to make sure, yes, probably you need to go one after another. So we'll say remove this one. We're going to insert insert here, and I'm going to make a lamp on, and I'm going to put it in 236 to 239. Okay, so they need to go one after another range. Fine. So you can see now I have lamp on. Now let's create a macros. So when you go into the macros, and you will look into this menu and you will think, oh, I don't actually understand what's going on. And I will actually show it. I will explain to you how to work here. So first of all, you need to apply certain macroses. So in our case, let's say we're going to have only two macroses, is reset and lamp on. That's it. So nothing else. So lamp off, we can delete. So select lamp off and say remove. Okay, we don't need this. So now we're looking at, first of all, the channel. So the channel in our case is going to be channel 14. This is what I'm referring to. It is here, the channel number 14, which is called control. So that is C1, and that needs to be the control channel. So the next one is going to be, you have to tell the MagicQ how many steps you want to make to do certain application. I would say keep 3 steps for you. So 3 steps is going to be D1 and D2 is the step number 1. Is that D1 is the timing, and D2 is the range you need to jump on. Then D3 is going to be the time, and D4 is going to be the step you need to jump on, the range. And the D5, D6 is going to be the last steps. Again, so let's go through lamp on. So this is how you're going to go lamp on. I would always suggest leave it as it is. So 5 seconds, you go in the range number 000. You can look in the range, and it says the value 000, it's a safe area. Okay, that's good. So the next step is going to be the desk goes into, in the fixture, it goes into the range number 85. But if you look at the range 85, you will see it's still within 0 and 209. That's not what we want. For do the lamp on, you need to land somewhere between 236 and 239. Let's say we're going to choose something in between the range. It's going to be 237. So I'm going to go in the macro. I'm going to say you have to land in a 237. Wait there for 5 seconds. And after you wait 5 seconds, you jump back to the 0 and hold for 5 seconds. That way, the fixture goes into that macro to lamp on, waits, the fixture lamp turns on, and then it goes back to the safe place. And here you will see the message says macro has been, lamp on has been done. Same things you can do for the lamp off. So again, the first D1 and D2 is the action 1, where D2 is the range you need to jump on, and D1 is the timing you need to be on it. Then you go into the so this is in seconds. Then you go to the step where you need to activate, jump to the right range, and then the step where you need to jump out. So let's look at the reset. So if you look at the reset will be, for example, full reset is going to be between 220 and 235. Let's say 230 is going to be the place we will jump on. So we'll say in the beginning, go to the 000. Then here you go to 230. Okay, so let's double check that we're in the correct place. So reset is going to be between this and this. Yeah, 230 is going to work for us. And then 5 seconds out. That's it. So this is how you fix your macroses to work correctly. Another thing to point out, if you're using the fixtures and you have you have the zoom channel or you have iris channel, and if you add it into the channel list, it means you have the iris or you have zoom. Always go into the range and add into the range something for the iris channel, meaning if it's going to be even iris open from narrow to wide 0 to 255, add it. If you're not going to add it, you're not going to see it work in a visualizer, and you want to see it there working. So the other things to pay attention to is following. So when you look at here and all our channels are correct and all the beats and everything is correct, you have to, the last thing you need to look at is going to be locate, default, and highlight value. Even though the highlight is not that important, default and locate are important. What I'm talking about is this. So let's say when you're selecting your lights, you want to have, for example, shutter to be by default to be closed. Is that correct? Yes. So by default, the shutter needs to be closed. And then you look at shutter. Shutter, shutter, shutter. It says default to be, as a, for example, at 255. So if the shutter, for example, you want it to be shutter to be open. So you need to keep it as open as 255, because you can always change the check the range, and shutter range open by default, yes, is 255. So it's all correct. You keep it on. If you want to keep, for example, if your shutter open is on the lower range as well, for example, you have the shutter open between 0 and 15, use that option. So for example, let's look at pan and tilt. Pan and tilt, use the stop options. Don't use the fine option, only the coarse option, these two. And these two, make it 128, 128. That means they will land in a 50-50 position. Then the other thing to watch out for will be, for example, a prism effect. So prism, I would say by default, keep them all at 0. Same things with the color, same things with the gobo, same things with the prism, like with the other channels, keep them all at 0. If you have, for example, a pan tilt speed, if you look here, pan tilt speed, and then every time you use it, they work really, really slowly, and you would like to actually adjust it to be 255 always by default in the library, then you come here and you adapt this value. So this is important for locate when you press locate, and this is important when it goes to the default. So if you're releasing something and you want it to go to default, this is the values it will go into. So when you finish with this one, you can of course go palettes and you create your palette. So right now there are no palettes here. That means I won't be able to actually get any colors. If you want to add the palette, you press insert and add palette. So color, and you choose the channel that you have the colors on. So if you choose color, so the color for you will be channel number 8. Then you click on the view palettes. You can always go here and press insert, and it will insert you the color channel. Here you have to specify how many color attributes you're working with. So if it's only color wheel, you can just choose one channel. So in this case, you'll double click and you'll choose the color that you're using, the color channel, and you insert the level between 0 and 255 to actually import the range. Let's say, for example, it will be 3, it's going to be for white color, 27 is going to be for so for example 27 is going to be for the red color, etc, etc. So it's all based on your ranges, on this range, so the one that you select here, and then you choose the range into the palette, you put the correct level, and then you save it. This way the colors will be set for you as well. If you're using, let's say, RGB fixture, that means it's using the 3 channels, red, green, blue, then here you have to specify that it will be 3 channels, and then you specify this one will be red, this one will be green, this one will be blue, or you can import and yeah, that's about it. After that, don't forget to save the name, but save the name with the name of the manufacturer, underscore the model name, underscore the mode name, and press enter. Always use a save as to create the new file. And when you create it, you will be able to actually have the full control of the fixture straight away. So in some cases it tells you here the error name. So error gobo icon LO. So what you can do is, that means you can look into the range, look for the gobo. So right now you will be able to see that right now there is it's only fixed gobo, and you need to find the error gobo icon. As far as I know, it's not gonna affect you. But if you have something to do with iris or zoom or shutter, then make sure that the channels don't overlap, they don't clash, you don't have exclamation marks on the channels, and after that, yeah, you should be okay. Press save hat, and then you will be able to start working. Again, this is not how to create a library. This is more how to adapt the current library to your library, and the types of the manuals you can receive, and when they're useful and when they're not. Thanks for watching this tutorial. I know I'm sure it's been long tutorial, but I hope it was useful for all of you. Thank you very much and have a lovely day. Bye-bye.